It's been a long day. It's been a long weekend, y'all. Stressful weekend. How y'all doing? Let's get to the video. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and you do click the bell. That means a lot to me. If you're also new to my channel, I also ask icebreaker questions, and today's icebreaker question is, if you were to give yourself advice currently, what would it be? I also post daily content every single day. That's what daily means, and I really do appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and a share on this video. That really does help my channel. So this video is going to be about Tamar Braxton. You know, she's been through a lot with being fired from The Real to losing her WeTV show over a suicide attempt, allegedly. And so she finally came out on Entertainment Tonight to tell us how she's doing currently. And this time, I actually believe that she's being genuine and authentic.
How are you doing? Because I'm looking at you and I see a glow in your eye. I see it like it's back.
Oh, well, listen, Kevin, I really worked hard at my glow in my eyes. You know, it's been a long time that I haven't, put on a mask, put on the Ritz, as we call it in show business. I had to learn how to check in with myself and to make sure that I am not giving so much that I forget about me. I love that. You wrote that you now have a sober, sound mind and body. What does that mean? Well, in order to really tune in with yourself, it's great to be sober. So, you don't have so you don't have anything that is like, not true. I like tangible things these days. Right. So I take time for myself. I love to work out. That's my time with God. That's the time that I am one with myself. And so I make sure I pay attention to, my pillars and the things that I need to make sure I am sound. By the way, if y'all haven't checked out Under Construction, Tamar's podcast, it's fabulous. You should check it out. But under construction means you and how other people can you're always under construction. People can really fix themselves and build themselves up. Explain. Well, I wanted to normalize mental health, and I also wanted to create a platform to heal out loud. I just feel like my ministry now is to give my struggles, my journey, and not be ashamed of it, so the next person will feel the same way. That is really hard for people, though. It is hard to tell the truth and look at yourself and say, "Ooh, that was crazy." Well, I didn't write it, but the truth shall set you free. That and is real. And it's more freeing than ever, and I feel more amazing. I actually feel like I'm in my 20s. I feel great. Do you? Oh, yes. Tamar, does that mean love could be on the horizon? Love could be on the horizons. I'm open, but I'm not dating right now. I am actually dating myself. And I'm dating my life. I want to make sure I spend the time and to make sure I hit all of my goals and to make sure I'm the best mother that I can possibly be and be present for myself and for him. When things were at their worst, what was the thing you did that made it better? Because I think a lot of people they hit a rock bottom point and they can't figure out how do I get back up and start going again. Well, for me, I was definitely there. I am definitely someone who knows what rock bottom looks like, what it feels like, and not being able to pull myself out. Because I think as people, we do the figuring out. Oh, I can figure out how to go to work. Oh, I can figure out how to take the kids. I can figure out how to put on a face. But sometimes you're just so dark. You're so sunken into that sunken place that you can't see the light. But I promise you, Kevin, God is the light, and you have to remember that He is within all of us. So the only thing that can get you out is your mind. You have to think positive and be positive, and that's just what I did.
So as you saw in the video, I really do feel like she's being authentic. I know in the past she's gone on Wendy and other talk shows talking about that she's trying to get her mental health right. And she just kept saying the same things over and over again and then lashing out, either throwing shade with somebody or just acting differently towards her sisters or just being in some kind of drama with her ex-husband or her ex-boyfriend. So I think this time it's much better suited for her. She did say she's over reality TV, and that does become addicting because, in my opinion, I think that the money is great, and when the money is great, it does become addicting. Although the money could have been better, considering how much WeTV was paying Tamar and her sisters versus what the Channel E network has been paying the Kardashians over these years. That's a huge difference between the Kardashians and the Braxtons. So I really do think she's authentic. I also, she has a podcast called Tamar Under Construction, and she did talk about the Real firing and how the Real started her mental breakdown, started her depression. I personally feel like it added to her depression. I don't think it started her depression. She did talk about being molested. And so I think that was in my opinion, the tip of the iceberg. And also the divorce between her mother and her father, especially with her being the youngest. It does affect the youngest really hard when two parents divorce, even though she was in her 20s when her parents divorced. And so, y'all know the whole Real situation and everything. She was talking on her Tamar Under Construction, and she did say that she think WeTV had something to do with her firing from the Real due to a conflict of interest. And then, she, talked about it with Taraji as well, and said that, she felt bad for blaming the girls and blaming Lonnie and all of them, and she really thinks it's WeTV. I personally feel it has something to do with her manager, because as your manager, you know the ins and outs and the scope of your client, which is Tamar Braxton, and also, they were in a marriage, so Vince knows the answer, and I don't know why she didn't go to Vince. I mean, she has a mouth, so I don't know why she didn't go to Vince and ask him. I do feel like Ham Hock Nick, Big Lonnie Love, did have something to do with it. I don't think she has the power, but when you have an employee or when you have somebody who is a big part of the show, just writing letters or telling the network that Tamar Braxton is a liability, due to, being hospitalized, and how, the ratings were doing well due to Tamar not being there. That commentary stays in your subconscious mind as an executive. That stain in the brain stays back there. I personally believe that. And so Lonnie Love had a big part in the show because she was already she was the first Black co-host on The Real. I know when The Real first started, it did this first impression and everything, but they just do that for TV. Lonnie Love was set in stone with Telepictures. She had a production deal with Telepictures, and she wanted her own talk show. She wanted to be solo, but instead, Telepictures were like, no, we want to produce a talk show with women of color. And so Lonnie Love just ended up doing it that way, but she was already set in stone. So the fact that those letters went out against Tamar Braxton from her, and just her bad mouthing Tamar Braxton, to me, she does play a big role in her firing, because she was already set in stone with the company. And so this happens all the time in the entertainment industry, like with females. It's kind of like they just smile to your face, but behind your back, they want to be mean and vicious. It reminds me of the fact when Cheryl Underwood came out on the talk and spoke about being on the phone with the Queens of Comedy, but at the time it was on mute and they didn't know she was on the line, and they were talking about her weight, her talent, everything. And Cheryl Underwood is the real deal. Hell, I followed the woman and she followed me right back. And I even know that she's very authentic, and she is my favorite co-host on that show. And I watched it back in the day, and I watched clips back in the day on YouTube. But so I'm happy she's doing well. I wish her the best. I think she's talented. I want her to make music, and I want her to excel in the charts like these other talented people. And she can definitely excel in the charts, because there's not talented singers out there like a Selena Gomez or a Taylor Swift, and these other singers that really can't sing a tune. So Tamar Braxton can really do it. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Thumbs up this video, share it, and make sure you answer my icebreaker question. Who says yay?